Welcome to episode 437 of the New York Knicks podcast, part of the Almighty Baller Podcast Network and Dash Radio. I am Jay. With me is Mark. This is our Overreaction episode.
Yes, you could tell from the intro music, we are overreacting this episode, and we probably will not get a chance to play that again this season, or anytime soon. But we are in first place. We have the best record in all of the NBA. We're undefeated, and even though it came against a fake basketball team in the Hawks, it was awesome.
Yeah, we wanted to take advantage of doing an episode when the Knicks are undefeated. So here you go.
I have a question. So what do you think of trolling when you troll someone? Is that mean? Is that like abuse? Is it bullying? And I'm asking because were the Knicks and Fizdale trolling the Hawks by playing Baker so many minutes? Was that just mean?
I mean, there was a lot of guys they played that were you could consider trolling.
But we were like, hey guys, we're going to beat you with Ron Baker as our point guard. Yeah.
Ron Baker played the third most minutes on the whole team.
So the game starts off. Knicks are down like 10-2 really early. And immediately the offense looks stagnant. No one knows what to do with an offense. The defense looks okay, but not great. But they're down 10-2, and you're like, oh man, this is going to be a long opening night. The Knicks are chipping away. By the end of the first quarter, I think it was 24-23. But you realize also, because the Knicks started Ntilikina and Burke, and they said Moutier was out he's injured, so he's out for the game. And Moutier also just sent him we don't need him on the team anymore. Anyway, but you realize really fast, they're like, wait, if Moutier is not here, and my two point guards are starting, who's our first point guard off the bench? And you see it's Ron Baker, and you're like, oh God, this is going to be a really, really long night if the Knicks are going to really try to play Ron Baker. And it worked out.
It definitely worked out.
I mean, Ron Baker, in fairness, can the Knicks do this against a real NBA team? Play Ron Baker?
I mean, they could. They're not going to win by 20 points.
Ron Baker, his defense, he's pesky. His defense is okay. His defense is not great. His defense is average at best. I don't know. What do you think?
Average to a hair above average.
Let's
go a hair above average.
Yeah, a hair above average. His offense makes Frank Ntilikina look like the second coming of Michael Jordan.
He had 4 assists.
No. I'm not talking about the assists. I'm talking about his scoring ability.
Oh, okay.
Just his pure scoring. He can pass the ball. He can turn the ball over also. But his ability to actually score the ball and get the ball into the hoop is slightly better than your version of your ability to get the ball in the hoop from the couch while you're watching the game.
Yeah, true.
But beyond that, are the Knicks just really bad at tanking?
No, the Hawks are the worst team in the NBA.
The Knicks are just like, oh, wait, the highest score? Oh, shoot. Sorry, Hawks. We really just wanted to blow this game. We're trying to get a draft pick here, and you're not letting us.
The Hawks are so bad. They have Lynn is their best bench player, and arguably nobody else on their bench should even be in the NBA.
Well, they are missing Dwayne Dedman, and they're missing. They're probably their best player in who's their center? Collins.
Right.
So they started a 42-year-old Vince Carter tonight,
who looked like the best player on the team.
Not even arguably. Look, he actually had the best plus minus on the team. He's the only person that had a plus minus above 0 tonight. Oh, actually, I think Spellman had, but anyway, he had a +7, the best plus minus on the team. He's 42 years old. Jay, I just asked this on Twitter. I'll ask you: would you have rather drafted Trae Young with your top 5 pick in the draft, or just taken Alonzo Trier with your as an undrafted free agent?
Well, after that dunk in the third quarter, I tweeted Trier for president, and I did not tweet Young for president at any point during the game.
Young was doing his best imitation of Steph Curry missing long threes.
Young looked better than I thought he would, because of his court vision. He threw some nice passes.
He'll have an NBA career. He's just not Steph Curry. Maybe he's going to have a lot of nights where he's 5 for 14 tonight, and he'll have a lot of nights like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
And maybe he'll get better and become an efficient and a very good point guard, but I'm thinking I'd rather use my top 5 pick on someone better and taking Alonzo Trier as an undrafted free agent. So let's overreact about some of these players in the Knicks.
Okay.
Do you want to apologize to Timmy Hardaway right now?
I did not.
Go for it. Come on, just apologize. Just tell Timmy Hardaway that you understand he's potentially our all-star.
Yeah, I'm not doing that.
Yeah, no, he missed his first 4 shots. Mm-hmm. After missing his first 4 shots, he went 10 for 18 the rest of the game. Mm-hmm. He had 22 points in the second quarter, or maybe it was like 20 points in the second quarter. 22 points at halftime. As leading the Knicks scored 49 points in the second quarter, their best quarter in the history of the franchise.
Their second best quarter in the history of the franchise. Their best second quarter in the history of the franchise.
Oh, best second quarter. They've gotten over 49?
They had 51 once in like 1963.
Okay, you can't count that. People didn't even exist back then. But Timmy Hart, that second quarter alone, you owe Timmy Hardaway an apology.
Yeah, I'm not going to do it.
How did you like beyond his scoring? How did you like his passing? His passing was pretty good. He got 5 assists tonight. You see that one he had behind the back to I think it was to Cantor?
Yeah, it looked like some of the Knicks' poor defenders were actually trying on defense. Cantor got shredded early in the game, but he looked like he really stepped it up in the second half.
Yeah. Well, it looked like everyone tried to play defense. And Cantor, like, he seemed to be he's never going to be the most athletic center, but he seemed a little better positioned on defense.
Yeah. Yeah, he looked like he is starting to realize where he's supposed to be, which is half of the battle.
You know what was crazy about this game? I also thought was crazy is the Knicks were up by 20 points with like 4 minutes to go in the second quarter, and Cantor was going to the free throw line for his first points of the game. So they were doing. You would think if they were winning by this much, they would have relied on a huge quarter by like Cantor, but they didn't even need his points like until later in the game.
Yeah, Cantor didn't start getting going till like the middle of the third quarter.
Yeah, at that point, also it's like just when the Hawks were trying to come back, I was like, why don't you just keep feeding Cantor? He could score.
I was thinking that too because he's on my fantasy team.
He had a decent night for you. He was 5 for 9, which is actually probably not the best percentage for him, but 16 points, 11 rebounds, even 3 assists, a steal, a block.
Yeah, I'll take that.
Yeah, you should take that. Trey Burke started off the game looking horrible. But he came back on and looked actually pretty good once he got the second. After he left the game and came back in, he looked a lot better.
My biggest surprises for tonight was Vonleh and Trier.
Yeah, I mean, hard to argue with either one. Vonleh looked like Kylo Quinn who?
Yeah, I mean, double-double. I was not expecting 10 rebounds out of that guy.
Yeah.
He looked like he was playing decent defense, 3 assists. Really good.
Yeah, and he got a couple putbacks. The guy also, he's not as 6'9", which is obviously very tall, but he's not as tall as most centers. But he's got super ups.
Yeah.
So like, you give him the ball, he'll just jump above the basket and just dunk it at any point. I hope Mitchell Robinson is fine for next game.
Well, he got 2 points in 1 minute, which means he is averaging 72 points per 36 minutes.
Okay, that's pretty good. He actually tied for he had the worst plus minus on the team. He had -2, but of course he only played for 1 minute. Do you know who else had a -2?
Moutier, just for existing.
Actually, Joakim Noah. They gave it to him and told him, "You suck, Joakim Noah." Ntilikina in 34 minutes got a -2 in a game the Knicks won by 19 points, which is kind of a weird.
Weird stat.
He looked so. I think Ntilikina looked pretty good though.
He did. It didn't show up in the box score much, but he did look good.
He had one good drive to the basket. He wasn't, and he hit a 3. His defense. He did like. He was at one point. He was leaving the game, and Clyde goes, "Ntilikina is just a guy that's only his stats will never show up in the box score. What he does, his intangibles will never show up." It was basically like this guy will never be a box score player, which is. I'd rather be a box score player, but
yeah, obviously, I don't even know if that's true. He's still only 20. He's still growing. So.
But he did look really good on defense, I thought.
He did. He's covering 3 positions now officially.
Yeah, which he's. I mean, is because he a 3 and the Knicks don't know what position to play him. They just know they need to play him a bunch of minutes.
Right.
Trier looked great. I have to say, I agree with you. Trier looked. Yeah, he looks like a. Do you think Courtney Lee is going to eat his minutes when he comes back?
A little bit. But I think every time Trier gets a bucket, Moutier has to move one seat closer to the exit.
That's fair. I mean, Trier looked really good. I mean, he's one of the, first of all, he hit a couple of step backs right from like the free throw line, which seems like he could probably do that all night without missing.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think do you think Trier like he got 15 points tonight? What do you think he's going to average this year?
8.
8 on what kind of shooting?
Probably about 45 to 50%.
I would be for that would be kind of high. I feel like it's more like 40%, but I mean, he shot really well tonight, but 45% would be pretty outstanding for your.
I'm just thinking he drives a lot, so
he does drive a lot. He gets to the basket, gets to the foul line a lot.
Yeah.
The Knicks tonight, overall, they got to the Hawks got to the basket. 18 free throws. The Knicks shot 31 free throws. When is the last time the Knicks have shot more free throws than their opponent?
They were aggressive. They were fast. What did you think of Hezonja?
So the whole preseason, I thought he looked like complete garbage.
Yes.
And when he first came in the game, he did not look great, obviously. But then he started hitting shots. I like his aggressiveness. He was aggressive on defense, which I appreciated.
Mm-hmm.
Again, it's hard to tell because they played a fake NBA team. Not even arguably, probably the worst. If you're an Atlanta Hawks fan, do you wait for game 2 or do you just start drinking now?
Oh, I would have started drinking as soon as they drafted Young.
I mean, is there a future of this franchise?
No.
Yeah. So what do you think of Hezonja?
I'm a little bit more positive on him than I was in the preseason. It looks like he can actually. He showed flashes of being very impressive. He still made a bunch of mistakes, but I see. Maybe that's what Orlando thought the whole time.
He tried to force the drive to the basket when there wasn't really a place to drive a couple times, but he hit some threes. I like his outside shooting was pretty good. Speaking
of forcing, Kevin Knox.
Yeah, everything he did, he was 4 for 16 in the game. Everything he did was forced. At some point I was taking notes of the game, and at some point in the third quarter I wrote, "Wow, the Knicks would be really good if Knox could just hit a shot."
Yeah, but he looked like he was just trying to be the man instantly, and he wasn't taking smart shots.
No, I mean, you're right. He was trying to be an alpha, trying to he thought I need to score.
But he's got to do it in the flow of the offense.
Well, so Fizdale said he didn't start him because it was not even the offense, because his defense was lacking. And kind of sat him as a way to challenge him on defense. What do you think of his? I couldn't even really tell about his defense. What do you think? He was giving effort, I thought, on defense.
He was giving effort. I didn't see anything. I didn't see anybody really blowing by him, but I didn't see him do anything crazy good on defense either. Probably a hard game to judge considering he was playing against guys like Bembry.
I don't know if you made up an Atlanta Hawk player or not. I
could probably just make noises when I say the Hawks players, and you wouldn't know the difference.
I really wouldn't know. I'd have to look at the box score to know the. I was actually shocked that Vince Carter was on the team. I cannot believe this guy's still in the league, and unquestionably the best player on the Hawks tonight. He even hit some long threes. I'm like, what the hell? Yeah. Should we be concerned at all in our overreaction first game, post game? Should we be concerned at all about Knox?
No, I don't think so. I think it's rookie jitters. A lot of expectations going in. He wanted to live up to those expectations. I also have faith in Fizz, and he's going to break down the tape and show him what he did right and show him what he did wrong.
For a guy like Knox also, would you rather him be 4 for 12 or 4 for 16?
Why would I rather him be.
I mean, in the sense of I want him to keep shooting. I don't think I don't want him to start getting reticent and just going okay, I'm going to be 2 for 7 tonight, 2 for 5 tonight, and I'm not going to shoot because I'm not hitting my shots. You want him to stay aggressive and keep shooting. The Knicks will be better in the long run if Knox can learn to hit shots and be aggressive on offense.
I think what's more concerning is 0 rebounds in 23 minutes.
Yeah, I would agree with that. He got 2 steals tonight, but his zeros in rebounds and 0 in assists are a little concerning.
That's a mellow.
Yeah, I mean, this is actually what Timmy Hardaway was doing when the Knicks first drafted him.
Yeah.
Remember, he only could contribute in points and couldn't do anything else.
Yeah.
And now he's a player that Jay has to apologize each week to. But Knox, it's going to be. I think his shooting percentage this year will be in the 35 to 40%. I don't think he'll get 40% at the end of the year. I think he's going to be an inefficient player, and with some good nights and some bad nights, we'll have to live with it.
Yeah, but I mean that's to be expected.
Yeah, I think. Young players are generally not going to be the most efficient players. What do you think of the overall swarming defense? I felt like the Knicks were giving a lot of it. Actually, remember last year the Knicks started off looking atrocious. The first 2 games of the year, they got their asses handed to them, and then the Knicks played a bunch of 3 or 4 games in a row where the defense actually looked pretty good, and the Knicks had won some games, and they were giving full effort on defense,
mm-hmm.
and they never did it again the rest of the year. So I kind of reminded me of that, basically, how everyone was sprinting, everyone was trying to everyone except for the fact they didn't cover 3-point shooters for a while, a decent span. They generally seemed like they're giving a lot of effort on defense, which I appreciated. The other thing this game reminded me of, you remember the Knicks were going to a season. They were playing LeBron James and the Miami Heat to start the season. They were considered to be maybe an 8th seed, and then they hit they blew out the Heat to start the first game of the season,
mm-hmm.
and they hit. So that kind of opening night reminded me of this opening night where the Knicks were. I mean, obviously the Hawks are not the LeBron Heat, but it was nice to have a blowout to start the season, and maybe it's signs of good things to come.
Yeah, I mean it's.
That was the 54-win season, by the way. But go on.
It's a young team. We're going to have nights like this, and then we're going to have nights where we're going to cry ourselves to sleep. But I think what we learned today, in summary, is that this is a fun team. So even if they lose, we're going to have fun watching players like Trier and Vohenleit, Ntilikina, and Knox. We're going to have fun watching them. It's a likable team. They have a fun up-tempo style, and it's not going to even if their record is as bad as some of the previous bad teams, it's going to be a lot more enjoyable and fun to watch.
By the way, I want to read you a box from the box score. See if you can guess this player. Don't look at the box score right now.
Okay.
16 minutes, 1 for 2 from the field, 0 rebounds, 0 assists, 0 steals, 1 block, 1 turnover, and a plus 13.
That has Lance Thomas written all over.
Did nothing. Looks like he did nothing on the court, and he's a plus 13 because that's Lance Thomas. He's also a guy that has a lot of intangibles. He did hit a 3, but anything else you want to add from the night? One guy I was surprised that didn't get any minutes was Dotson.
Yeah, but I think that was just because Trier is playing so good.
Yeah, fair enough.
If Trier plays that good, Dotson's not going to get minutes.
Yeah, no, that's fair. I mean, do you think Baker? So overall, did you think Baker played well?
He played decent.
I find that Baker played 27 minutes. I just can't see the Knicks winning games. I mean, I know they won by almost 20 tonight, but winning too many games where Baker plays 27 minutes. I'm a little concerned about. But then again, I assume they're not going to start Ntilikina at the 3 every night either. So maybe that'll work itself out.
Well, Courtney Lee's out too.
That is a fair point.
I mean, I think Lee is probably going to take more Baker's minutes than Trier's.
Yeah, that's true. Hopefully, I guess if you don't have to work Moutier into the lineup, which hopefully the Knicks will be cutting him right now, then that's a fair point, and that actually makes a big difference.
Wouldn't that be great if they're just yeah, Trier's got your spot, go home.
Because Courtney Lee, having never played point guard in his life, could play point guard as well as Ron Baker. Like, it's just there's no way Courtney Lee could be a worse point guard than Ron Baker. He's a better defender and better shooter, everything.
Baker's not a bad passer, though.
He's a mediocre passer. I mean, you know what?
This is supposed to be our overreaction episode. You're supposed to be a little higher on Baker.
Okay, you know what? My overreactions, I'll go run through quickly. Enes Kanter still looks very valuable. His defense looked better than I expected. Knicks are going to be awesome. They're going to win the title this year. We are the champions.
There we go. So
Okay.
that was our special mini episode. You can contact us, nyknickspodcast@gmail.com, and we're NYKnicks Podcast on Twitter and Facebook and Instagram.
Quick hot takes, or quick overreaction takes. Alonzo Trier averages the most points a game for the Knicks rookies.
Ooh, bold. I like it.
Bold. Go bold. Go bold. Quickly, Jay.
Bold. Vonleh leads the first-time Knicks in rebounds for the season.
Wow.
First-time Knicks. That doesn't.
Okay. Yes.
Kanter doesn't count.
I was going to say it's going to get more than Kanter. Are you insane? Timmy Hardaway is an injury alternate to the All-Star team.
Oh my God, you've gone mad.
This is the overreaction hot takes or crazy takes. I don't know.
Okay, if we're going that crazy, Hezonja finishes top 5 and 6 man of the year candidates.
Okay, now you're just like. Okay, Lance Thomas single-handedly ends the Syrian war.
All right. Thank you, everybody. We will be back on Sunday with a full-length episode going over the Nets and Celtics games.
Yes.
And hopefully talking about a 3-0 week.
That would be pretty amazing.
All right. Goodbye, everybody.
My love. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye. It's over. Goodbye. It's time to go. This is the end. Say goodbye. You better go away. I'm gonna leave you. It's the end. Goodbye. Goodbye. Just leave me alone. Feels so good to say.